What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning back in to another episode of Florida Prison Talk. I'm your host, Easy Win, and we're here again for part two of my boy Sade, aka Little Mario, with the Once Upon a Time YouTube page, which some of y'all are subscribed to. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know where they can find you at.
Thank you. All right, everybody. My name is Sade, aka Little Mario from the Once Upon a Time show. Thank you, everybody that subscribed. I really appreciate it. Thank everybody that's reached out to me in the comments. I mean, I love everybody, and thank you also, Easy. If it wasn't for you,
Appreciate it. So what we gonna speak on today, man?
Basically, everybody's been requesting the story on the Trinitarios. I do have a story on the Trinitarios. Now, everybody needs to know the truth, all right? If you're listening to me now and you subscribe to my channel, then you know I only tell the truth. I have the paperwork somewhere, but, I'm not even going to go there because I got paperwork to everything. We could do that on a show my paperwork. But anyway, let me take you way back, all right? When anything first started with the Dominicans, so we're going to keep this Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, all right? Then it's going to turn into Neta Latin King Trinitario beef war, all right? So I'm going to walk you through so everybody could get a big picture of it, because I just don't want to walk through that we got into a war and they were like, no, but that ain't the way this is. This is my point of view. The Neta Association started back in the early 1990s. Back then, we were starting to fight the abuse that were going on, along with the Latin Kings, because the Latino community were getting abused, beat up on, oppressed, whatever word you want to use, Now, Latino communities I come from Sunset Park. In Sunset Park, we grew up with a lot of Dominicans. The biggest Dominican crowd that we had was the Papi Chulos. If y'all know Papi Chulos, then you know where I'm getting at. There's a big history with the Netas and Papi Chulos. Somebody got killed. Somebody's doing life right now. It's in the paper. That's where I'm getting at. This all started in the streets before it even hit the prison system. So in the 90s, there were a lot of Dominicans that were either Latin Kings or they were Netas. We were full of Dominicans. I mean, like I said, we grew up with Dominicans. Me, in Sunset Park, I grew up with Dominicans. So in our chapter, Sunset Park chapter, when we first started, we had a lot of Dominicans. As time progressed, now I gave you the stories that I was always in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? In Rikers Island all through the 90s. So basically I did 10 years. Because every time I came out, I went right back in. I had the paperwork. So these are the days when I was outside. 92, 93, 94, 95, all that. I was in and out, but I was also in the street. Okay, so a lot of Dominicans were Netas and Latin Kings. Now, when it started the power struggle, okay, this was all power struggle. We were building up a lot. Latin Kings were building up a lot. And it was mostly Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and all that. Now, like I stated on my other videos, catch up to my videos because I explained this already. People from Puerto Rico were coming down to New York and saying, listen, y'all running wrong. Y'all need to run like this and that. One main subject was, this is ran by Puerto Ricans for Puerto Rico. One of the head Trinitarios today, or that was, maybe he's dead, rest his soul, he became Neta or King in the beginning, but because he was Dominican, he could not lead, he could not be a president or lead a chapter like he wanted to. He earned it. This guy put in work. I ain't putting no names out there. I don't like to tell names, but this guy was a heavy hitter for the Dominicans, and he was with us. And because of the power struggle, a lot of Dominicans felt left out. Yes, they were with us. They were putting in a lot of work. Trust me. Dominicans got down. Me and Dominicans got along. We were brothers. But the thing was the power struggle. So they had Dominicans don't play DDP. They had Dominican power, DP. But they wanted to create something stronger. That's when they came out with Trinitarios. They became a force to reckon with. Today, I tell you, they're running shit in the prison system. Latino-wise. Latin Kings are there also, but Trinitarios got it. So I just want to put that out there. And the story I'm telling, this is man to man, story to story. You know, I don't want to start no beef. This was way back, you know. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all my crowd. I just want to tell you a story. It's interesting. So we began, of course, I was part of it, stripping manitos. Whoever was nieta or whatever that they broke a rule, whatever the reason, well, we started stripping a lot of Dominicans and getting into a lot of fights with them. A lot of them Dominicans that were kings and nietas became Trinitarios. So they still have that in their mind that they jumped me, they beat me up, they stripped me or whatever. So that beef was creating now. Everybody that was getting stripped or whatever, they were becoming either blood, whatever, mostly Trinitarios. All the Dominicans got together and said, fuck that, we're going to build our own. And right now, they're on, you know what I'm saying? They did it. They did this on their own. And now they're, you know, they're forced to be reckoned with. So basically, the beef was started in the street, stripping people, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm going to race through. All right, I'm going to tell you the story about my beef with the Nietas and the Trinitarios and all that. But I just want to clear that up. This all started in the street and it followed inside. My story starts in 2002. After all the ins and outs or whatever, me getting locked up, y'all could check out my stories. Finally, in 2000, they got tired of it. You know, they sentenced me to a year. Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So during this time, if y'all doing your homework and all that, being that I'm a high ranking, I don't like saying high ranking, let's just say nieta, okay? I had connections to La Madrina, Joanna. I had connections to high ranking nietas that right now were being indicted by the federal government. It's in the paper. And they were asking questions to manitos like me, nietas, to flip them, to snitch. I was like, fuck that shit. Nah. So what ended up happening, to make a long story short, I was marked as high classification. Yeah. I know what I'm talking about when you get marked as high classification. Now you'll go to CMC or you'll go to NIC where all these rappers are. And that's where my story with OG Black, Shine, and all that, that's a different story. I will give it to you also, homie. But let me do the Trinitarios today. But I do have stories on other people. So today we're doing Trinitarios. So I get locked up and I go straight. Okay, we're gonna skip going through the system. Of course, I still 2 or 3 days going through the system. You know, I go to the judge. Boom, remand. You're going back in. No bail, no nothing. I ain't coming out. That's it. I'm gonna do time. I end up in C95. Okay. Now remember, in the other story, I had said that after the fight, this and that, we all went to the Bing. So I ended up in the Bing, but I had completed my time or whatever, and I got released, but I owed Bing time. Those that been locked up knows if you got 1,000-year Bing time and they release you, whenever you're coming back, you're gonna do them 1,000-year Bing time. So I owed Bing time. Now, during this time, you know, I was on methadone and I was on pills. I was on Xanax and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm emotional. That's why I'm so hyper now. And they want to give me medication, so I smoke weed. So that's my story with the addiction part. So I ended up in C95. Now, when you go to C95, they bring you to the doctor. Went to the doctor, they refused me. They were like, we can't have you here because, number one, we only detox you from the methadone, and with the pills, the medication, all that, they can't have me there at C95. They switched me to the cells, like with a PC and all that was, until they had room in NIC. I went to NIC because, like I said, I was marked high classification. You know what I'm saying? Any high classification, you go to NIC. Now, like I said, this is 2000, 2001 and all that. I don't know the months, days and all that, whatever. I'm too old for that shit. But during this time, Shine was getting locked up 2001 or whatever. Then you had OG Mac getting locked up, blah, 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 because he got caught by the feds. Remember the big raid and all that? He ended up in NIC before the feds picked him up to go federal. You know what I mean? So he was at NIC when I got to NIC. That's a different story. So now y'all can remember, damn, I want to find out about OG Mac. You will. So basically I'm in NIC now. Whatever happens, because I'm in NIC, you know, I'm getting detox from the pills. I was in the tank upstairs. The tank is like solitary. You're locked down, you know, so you get 2 cells inside a tank. Then Shine was over here. OG Mac was on the other side or whatever. I was in this tank in NIC. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the tank. Your yard is right in front of you, or you're going into a gate. So I get detox from the Xanax, because that's the hospital. NIC is the hospital. Downstairs, you're in the hospital. When I got detox from the pills or whatever, being high classification, they lowered my classification, so now I could go to general population. I went downstairs to the actual hospital, which general population, you could go to the yard and this and that. Being that OG Mac was there were bloods there. A lot of bloods were in the hospital because they either got cut up or this and that. Some of them got cut because they had razors up their ass. This was literally happening. Razors were getting stuck in people's asses. They were getting cut in their stomach because they were hiding it up their ass. That's another story. Like I said, it gets deep. So basically now I'm on. I'm Nieta already. We already follow them rules. It's red, green light on the blood, blah, blah, blah. So I got something up my ass, you know? So anyway, I go to general population, right downstairs in NIC. You go out to the yard, you could still scream up, hey, yo, what's up? So basically, OG Mac or whoever it was gave an order, green light, Nieta, right there, which was me. So basically, I got jumped in NIC. I ended up ripping somebody. They threw me out of NIC. I ended up in HDM. 4 blocks, 5 blocks, somewhere around there. This is when I got in trouble with the Trinitarios. Now we're getting into the Trinitarios. I just want to get into me first. So basically, you've been following my story all through the 90s, in and out, in and out. I was in the street. Now it's 2000. I'm locked down. I ain't going nowhere. But I'm still an animal. Remember, all this time I've been putting in work. So, you know, we're in HDM. This is 2 block, 4 block. I don't remember the block, so please understand. But I know when you walk in, you have the B side, you have the A side. It's like a U. Then you have the cells on this side. Then you have that cells on this side. You have the wall, the TVs or whatever. I had a TV cell, which meant my cell was right in front of the TV. So basically, I could lay down and watch TV. This particular, I'm going to rush. So this is 2001, blah, 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 okay? I'm watching TV and I hear a racket going on. This is in Spanish. Right away, I knew estos son Dominicanos. You know they're Dominicans because they have an accent. Oh, you loco, esa vaina. I'm not making fun of you, but you know, Puerto Ricans have an accent also, but Dominicans, you could tell. You know what I mean? So I was hearing me, esa vaina, this and that, this tigre. They were pissed off about something. You know what I mean? And I'm nosy, so I peep out my cell and shit. And it's like 2 Dominicans all dressed up, you know. They probably got arrested. They were dressed up or whatever. They're trying to get on the phone to call their people. Now, y'all know about the phone. You can't just go in the house. I want to use the phone. And that was their problem. Now it gets deeper. All right, people? Hold on to your seat. But anyway, check this out. I didn't get into the part because, like I said, I skipped. When I got to HDM, there were a bunch of Trinitarios there. I mean, they were running shit. Maybe 10 Netas in my house or whatever. So Trinitarios had that shit locked down, and Bloods. So Bloods and Trinitarios were the big. Remember, during the 90s, I was out there stripping motherfuckers. Beating them up, stripping them. They switched to Bloods or they switched to Trinitarios, blah, blah. I got beef now. People don't like me. Where you gonna meet everybody? Boom, back on the island. So a lot of them were Bloods, a lot of them were Trinitarios. There were people there that I actually stripped that were Trinitarios. And when they see me walk in, it was like, yo, this, you know what I'm saying? It was already on, but not that day. You know, like I said, I'm skipping through because I don't want to, I'll stay here forever telling you the story about all the fights I had. I just want to get to the big one. So basically, the Dominicans are arguing. I'm like, yeah, let's see what happens. You know, let's see who's gonna put in work. You know what I'm saying? Because one of them had a big mouth, and I was like, that's the motherfucker that's gonna get it. So I don't know where there was this blood that was there, you know, and he set it off. You know, he was like, yo, shut the fuck up, this and that, daddy. Now that blood was a co-defendant to some big high blood member. Damn, I would like to say his name, but I'm not gonna say his name. Fuck it. But anyway, whoever was a high classification blood during that time, Cormega or whoever he is, that was his cold defense or whatever. So he had the reputation, you don't fuck with me because Lottie died. So he told Dominican, yo, shut the fuck up, this and that. One of them was like, what the fuck you said? Nothing happened right there, but the shit was like, okay, we got you now. I guess, we look out for each other, Latino, Dominican, Trinitarios. One of their brothers, they probably were the Trinitarios, passed them something. So now both of them are on. I'm peeping this. The blood guy, he's sleeping. He's like, oh, I'm going to get them. He's talking all this shit, So they're armed now. They got on the phone. The guy comes back and starts bitching again. Bah, 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 bah. And that's it. The motherfucker, it was funny because the motherfucker, the one of them was on the phone and the other guy was like this. The Dominican just clocking the blood guy, talking all this shit. And he's just smiling and like, yeah, get closer, motherfucker, get closer. So that blood got closer and started doing all this. Yo, I'm not lying, bro. Whoever was there, y'all could validate this shit. He grabbed the fucking blood and started, The other guy got off the phone and started ripping his motherfucker right there on the phone. Blood started coming out of everywhere. Trinitario started jumping in. Next thing you know, I started moving in because I'm like, oh shit, a fight. Somebody said, oh, there goes Mario, say whatever. I'm like, oh shit. I started fighting with like 5 Trinitarios. They bum rushed me. Netas came in. Yo, that's my manito. Yo, that shit was fucking crazy, bro. Everybody, boom, 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 boom. Man, listen. Rikers Island was so fucking wild back then, bro. I thank God I'm away from that shit, bro. But the beef started in the street and this and that, and you're always gonna bump into somebody in jail. You're gonna be a tough motherfucker outside, but eventually he's gonna catch up. And they caught up to me. They caught me. They gave me a beat down, and I'll admit it. 2001, 2002, HGM, 4 block, whatever happened. So it was on. The Turtles came, gave us again another beat. Anytime you get into a fight, you're gonna catch a fucking beating, right? So we all called beating, but everybody was fighting. Like, let's say before the fight, you owed me cookies or whatever. They were taking it out on them that day. So you owe me, you still owe me, motherfucker. This, remember when you called me a motherfucker? Yo, everybody was just going at it because now you could fight. Everybody's fighting. Now they're setting it off. So people that wasn't involved with the Trinitarios, they were just fighting, So that shit was a fucking big war. It's noted, people. Look it up. The war in 2001, Trinitarios, the Dominicans, and the Bloods. There were Netas there too. I was that fucking Neta. So they take me out of HDM, not out of HDM, but out of 4 block, 3 block, and then they put me in 5 block and shit. All my peoples are there. So basically, they're like, yo, ¿qué pasó allá? What happened, this and that? And I explained to them, listen, Dominicans jumped me and shit. There was Trinitarios in that also, but they were running shit. We only had like 3 or 4 nietas. One of them tried to play Superman or whatever. Yo, but you my brother, they can't violate. I'm like, yo, bro, there's too many of them, bro. We don't have enough people, bro. We shoot everybody. There was only a few of us. I was representing. So I said, you go talk to him. He went to try to talk to him, and he got his ass kicked, I was like, yo, what the fuck? I told you, bro. There's too many of them. They were running shit. But the thing I'm getting at is all the beat that I caused in the past caught up to me. I was cool with Dominicans. I mean, we still cool. I love them to death, Oye, tigre, ¿cómo está? But back then, that was the beef because they were kings, nietas. We started stripping them. A lot of them want to become leaders or whatever of their own chapter. No, you're Dominican. You can't. A lot of them felt left out. So fuck it. They made Trinitarios. And that was the best thing they did because now they're running shit. And like I said, I give it to them. They holding it down right now. The Latino thing, I'm not saying nothing about Latin kings, but I go more to Trinis now, tell you the truth. But that was my story with the Trinitarios. It keeps on my story, which I could do another part or whatever. I just wanted to give you a little taste of what we go through. It doesn't matter where the fuck you live, that shit is gonna follow you. That shit followed me to Rikers Island. And this beef was like 94, 95. That I stripped motherfucker. I ended up in there, and they were in there, all of them. And that was the story with Trinitarios, bro. And it still happens. You know, a lot of them got grudges and this and that. I don't. You know, to me, I'm a family member. I see them. I go to New York. Hey, what's up? You know, let's Dominican. But that was then. You know, so.
Man, that was good.
Another great story from Sade.
For real. That was excellent. One more question.
HZM 2000, 2001, 2002, around there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Gotcha. One more question as we close, man. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, man. And subscribe to my boy Sade, aka Mario's Once Upon a Time page. It's gonna be in the link. His YouTube page is rising, it's getting up there. Like and subscribe, do everything you can do to help this guy out, man. Last question. What does it take for somebody in Rikers Island back in the day to get a red tag?
I'm gonna explain about damn, man. We could do this another episode. What I'm gonna talk about, because I got the paperwork, how you get a red ID. But anyway, a lot of people get it mistaken. I'm gonna explain what was going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were getting fucking red IDs and they weren't putting in work. They were caught with a toothbrush or something. You know what I'm saying? When it first started, you get a red ID if you actually were putting in work. You got caught with a bang, a razor or whatever. Then you get that red ID. But a lot of people were getting found with stuff and getting red IDs, or they got caught with something sharp and now they get a red. So now they think they're gangsters, you know? And then they also had the green ID. The green IDs were for drugs. If y'all know what I'm talking about, you get a green one if you get caught smuggling drugs, controlled substance. Then they had the blue one, which is for the Muslim. Then they had the combined. Remember, they had the green, the red, and the blue together because you're a red ID, you got caught with weed, you know, everything is together on that card. Those are your charges. So when they look at you, oh, this guy's a cutter, this guy's he sells marijuana, whatever drugs, they know to search you in there. So they started searching people up there, sitting you on the chair, putting your mouth on the thing to make sure you don't have no razors. We'll get into the red, man. Listen, homie, I got a lot of stories for you, bro. Razors, boofing. I want to talk to you about boofing, everything. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Make sure y'all tune into his page. You heard all the stories. He has the paperwork to back it. Mario, Sade, aka Mario, Once Upon a Time YouTube page. The info will be pinned in the comments and the description. Easy win, Florida Prison Talk. I appreciate y'all tuning in.
Right, let me give out a shout out quick. Let me just say what's up to everybody. Thank you for subscribing, this and that. My channel is the Once Upon a Time Show with Sade, aka Little Mario. Right now I'm going through a lot of stuff. My brother's sick with COVID. I'm trying to get to New York. I will get there. I appreciate all the love I got on my page because I did do a live, man. I love y'all people. There was people reaching out to me like crazy, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it to New York, bro. Make my brother proud, you know what I'm saying? Yo, my brother actually made it to see me, you know, because I don't want him to die without me seeing him, man, you know? So I'm actually struggling right now to build up cash to get down there, but I'll do it somehow, you know? God bless people.
Starting out.